Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Ash here. Yes, I did a video yesterday, and yes, I said I was going to be doing them more often. Consistency is key. I don't think they're going to be daily, but I'm recording them at points of inspiration right now, and had a few conversations today that made me think maybe I should do one again. Mainly off the back of yesterday's video. So yesterday's video, I mentioned that I was building a new company. And I asked you guys to help me out with names, which a few of you have done, and I really appreciate that. They've given me, some good food for thought on what I could call this thing. So hopefully a new name for the new company will be coming very soon. But it had brought up a couple of questions about what happens to the current company. Consultancy that I'm running is mostly just me selling my time and knowledge, hopefully. So that's pretty flexible. I can ebb and flow that as I need to whilst building this new company. But different is excuse the pun, a different situation because it's been a company that I've run for so long now and has hundreds of customers. I want to make sure, members, of course, I want to make sure that, they're looked after and they're not being ignored in lieu of this new company that's going. The reality is the two companies will do something fairly similar. So it's possible that at some point they'll end up being part of the same thing. It's also possible that a bunch of other different things could happen. It could be bought, it could be closed down, there could be a whole bunch of things that could happen. None of those are due to happen anytime soon. And I wanted to talk to you about what I'm considering doing with it, because these, videos are supposed to be about what I'm going to do every given day to try and build a great company. And if I keep anything behind the scenes, anything strategic like this behind the scenes, then it's probably not delivering on the mission that I've set out with this content to share transparently the journey and the thought process of building a great company. So if I'm going to build a new company, it's going to be a lot of stress and take a lot of time and a lot of effort. It's probably going to raise investment, which means investors are going to be asking me questions about, hey Ash, what if you are distracted by the old company that you run. So I'm going to be fielding advice and thoughts from them too. I need to make sure that the new company has everything it needs from me. But I can't afford to let everybody in the old community go unlooked after. So it's possible even that I hire somebody with the revenue that the company makes to run it while I go and run this other thing and stay involved as the founder, of course, and look after it. But there are some more immediate things that I'm going to do, I think, different, and would love to hear your thoughts on it. The first thing is a recognition that the products we sell right now are great. I think they're really valuable. Both of those being, all of those being core membership plus, so our advisory level service, different plus, and then brand partnerships where companies can basically sponsor us to get their brand out there and activated within our community of people who might find what they do useful. There's a huge swath of people in that middle of that mix who are a bit too mature to be members. They've been running the business for a good while and therefore wouldn't see as much benefit in the support. And when I say a good while, I mean a couple of years, and it might be a £1 million turnover or thereabouts or beyond. But they love what we do. They love the concept behind Different and the mission that it has to support people in building businesses. So in one box, we've got that. We've got a whole bunch of people who are mature and have mature businesses that have a little bit of capital, and they really love what we do, but we don't really understand what we can do with them right now. On the other hand, I really need to start charging more for our services. It's always been affordable on purpose because I want to make sure that everybody everywhere has access to the support they need. So I probably need to do a price increase. But I also want to do a price increase without creating barriers for people that would need or want to have access to the support that we provide, but aren't able to provide it, aren't able to afford it. And the third piece here is that it will probably Different itself need to become a little bit more autonomous, a little bit more content-led if I'm going to go and focus my time, which is usually spent managing inquiries and supporting hands-on the people in the community. So what would that content be? If I'm building a company, it's going to help people start and grow companies from ground up and give them what they need when they need it, then surely that would clash with Different. in its current form. So it's probable, and my current thinking and strategy is that Different doubles down on the soft skills and the entrepreneurial skills that can help founders, creators, freelancers, small business owners, but also employees to develop their entrepreneurial capabilities, and content that can help you understand how to write a better email, build social currency, do public speaking, get those gigs in the first place, be confident about what you're building. Somewhere in between, this holistic approach that's probably a bit too soft, I imagine, for what our community would want, and the super practical how to do social media marketing 101 content that you can find in other places, but really kind of deep masterclassing on how to understand how to work a room when you're at a networking event, that kind of thing, which would be beneficial for every single person in that mix. So what I'm proposing here is that Different, in lieu of this new company coming in and taking up a chunk of my time and not wanting to let it, just sit there and lull away into nothing and have people pay for something that they're not getting value from, to continue providing value and actually provide even more value than I think we currently are, delivering what we currently do in a slightly more focused way, but with content that's focused around developing those people into better entrepreneurs. And then with those people, those companies that we have a lot of in our network, but we don't know what to do with, those mature companies who are too small to be brand partners, creating a way for them to support those people who can't afford to get in after our price increase to have access to that membership. And that would give birth to a thing that I'm currently calling a different pledge, or a supporter status. And what a supporter would do, they would be a company that is mature enough to be able to give back, believes in what we do, but wouldn't necessarily benefit themselves, but probably remembers just how hard it was when they started their own business and would love to help other people leapfrog over those problems. So what we would give them the opportunity to do is to support the memberships of people that wouldn't necessarily have access to our membership benefits right now, especially on the other side of a price increase. So these people might be under a certain age or of a certain socioeconomic demographic or job status. The current thinking is that it will probably apply to people that are under 21, people that are out of employment, and probably veterans in the services. If we can apply that to those people, then we have the ability for companies to sponsor the memberships of people who otherwise don't have access to that support and or can't justify affording it. They get to see the companies that are created by those people if they're doing it in an entrepreneurial way. But they also get the extra benefit of building a pool of hireable talent, because if those people don't go on to build great companies, they get to potentially converse with those people they've sponsored and bring them into their own companies, thus creating a great flywheel of opportunity for people to learn, become better, get jobs, and other people to succeed, support the next generation, and bring those people into their business. And along the way, of course, we get to deliver the impact that I really want to deliver and are able to afford running the business as a result, because the money comes from companies as well as obviously individuals if they still want to join and pay. And they don't fit the criteria that's required for supporter memberships or sponsored memberships or scholarships or whatever they might be called. And so, yeah, I guess the long story short is that Different is going to continue to exist. The questions that came up after last night's statement of a new company, the answer to that is that Different is, at least for now and for the foreseeable, going to continue to exist. In the interim, it will focus on what it's always done and does really well, which is focusing on supporting founders. But in the very near future, I'm hoping to launch in the coming weeks, the ability to double down on the soft skills and the entrepreneurial skills of those individuals, and have members be supported by small businesses, SMEs, and larger companies and corporates who really want to support the next generation. And there will be a challenge to those companies to say, hey, look, don't just support one person, support 5, or join a club of companies that support 10 people a year, or even a club of companies that support 100 people a year. Who knows, maybe we get to speak to a company big enough that's willing to support so many people they create their own club, their own level of pledge. would be incredible to see. So that's where I'm at with different. Hopefully that answers some of the questions that a couple of you had following yesterday's video. Hopefully it gives you more insight into where my brain's at and how I'm building this company from scratch. I should probably, I realized, do a video on how the hell I even got to this point in the first place, so that you don't just think I'm a privileged dude that gets the ability to do this because he's got, rich backing and has the luxuries in life to be able to make that happen. I'll maybe cover my life story in the next video, just so you can see where I'm coming from, and it gives more context into where I'm going. And yeah, as always, obviously just trying to make sure that everything I'm doing here and building is done as transparently as possible so that you can understand it, learn from it, potentially maybe be inspired by it to go and build your own thing, which would be amazing. And if you are, then comment below and tell me about what that is. But in the meantime, thanks for listening to me ramble on about this crazy thing I'm about to go and do. I'll try and keep the video consistency up. Daily is going to be iffy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in the next one.